Honestly, I think the Aquaman poster looks fine. Momokun. More like, no, please don't touch me there, you're making me uncomfortable. So, summary. Mariah Malad. Thought it was pronounced Malad, apparently it's pronounced Malad. Cosplayer. Been in some controversy before, I never really bothered to look into any of it. Recently, she's been getting accused of some inappropriate touching. A lot of big names there. Ranges from touching people to spanking people to grabbing them to pulling up women's tops and showing people their nipples. She denies it. There's video.
What if I touch his butt?
She admits to it. She apologizes. Says she doesn't understand boundaries sometimes. Blames it partly on her ADHD.
Sometimes I get a little crazy, and I think a lot of it has to do with having ADHD and not being able to control myself sometimes. That I just kind of get a little too comfortable.
People don't take kindly to that. Venues start to drop her. She says she dropped out of them. That's not true. Everyone's general response, that was bad, and she's bad for doing it. There, now you're caught up. So what do I think? Yeah, that was bad. She shouldn't have done it. I can understand some of it being her just not knowing where people's boundaries are and crossing the line out of her own lack of awareness, which still doesn't justify it, but it's at least understandable. But for something like pulling up someone's top, you really should know better. That's less of a whoopsie-daisy and more of a what the fuck are you thinking type moment. People really didn't take kindly to the ADHD comment. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. I don't think she's blaming it on the ADHD or saying that it's okay to do because she has it. I mean, I can see having ADHD making someone more likely to act like this, which still doesn't excuse it, but I do think it's possible that it contributed. I want to believe that she'll learn from her mistakes and that this has come out of genuine stupidity and not malice. But, she's never learned before. Any other time where she's come under fire, she's handled it the exact same way. And even how she's been handling this doesn't look promising. She's changed her story, denied what happened, accused someone of accusing her for attention, then fessed up about all of it when there was video proof. And it seems like she's just trying to say whatever will make her look the least guilty. She's been portraying herself as some kind of tragic hero in all of this.
And I understand right now that literally anyone can say anything about me and people will believe it, because I'm kind of a scapegoat right now for people, and I understand that. I get it. Put the blame on me. I get it.
At one point, she literally calls herself a martyr.
Don't want to see this happen to anyone else. And if I have to be a martyr for this, for myself and lots of other people to learn their lessons, so be it. Because shit needs to be discussed. Shit needs to be talked about.
But maybe now that she's actually facing some tangible consequences, she'll actually put in an effort to change. Or maybe she won't. I don't fucking know. But the real reason I wanted to make a video on this was because of the response. Now, the general response people had to this was, I feel, the right response. It was bad. She should not have done it. But what I noticed a lack of was something that happens in a lot of stories where it's a man touching women inappropriately. You see, a lot of times when a man harasses or assaults a woman, people claim it's because he views women as objects or as less than human, that he feels he's entitled to her body because he's a man. It's just another example of how society teaches men to oppress women. But when a woman is the one doing the harassing, or a man is the one being harassed, or both, all of a sudden these types of analysis disappear. When someone harasses a man, they aren't accused of viewing men as objects. And when a woman harasses someone, she isn't accused of thinking she's entitled to people's bodies because she's a woman. Which is doubly strange when you consider that a lot of times when something like this happens, the perpetrator will excuse it by saying things like, it's okay because you're a man, or it's okay because I'm a woman. Now, I'm no mind reader. I don't know what was going through Momokun's head when she did what she did. And as far as I'm aware, she hasn't said that what she did was okay because of the genders of the people involved. But other people have definitely inferred that she felt okay doing certain things because she was a woman. And credit where credit is due, these people do say that being a woman isn't an excuse for this kind of thing, which is good. However, what I'm not seeing is people making the claims that Momo feels entitled to people's bodies because she's a woman, or that she sees people she gropes as objects or subhuman. The criticisms of this basically began and ended at, Momo did a bad thing, she is bad. The only time people brought up gender was just to say, hey, it's bad when women do this too. It never got any deeper than that. And honestly, I don't think it should go any deeper than that. It's kind of pointless to jump to conclusions about the deeper reason behind why someone did something like this when there's nothing to go off of. The truth is, we don't know what was going through Momokun's head when she was doing this. All we know is what she did and what she said about it. There was a tweet by a cosplayer named Stella Chu that I think made a pretty important point.
Women in power don't realize they have power over other women. They are treated the same way powerful men are treated. People give them more leeway when uncomfortable things happen, and only realize later it was sexual harassment. It doesn't feel like it in the moment, because everyone assumes positive intent. But afterwards someone will feel violated, and they won't understand why, until they come to terms with it. That's why it's so important for women in power to be empathetic and set up boundaries for themselves. Always keep themselves in check. We are not goddesses and senpais. We are people who need rules and need to be treated like everyone else. We are not exempt from bad deeds. Please hold us accountable and be our peers.
And that's a statement I can get behind. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't like it when people say that the solution to these problems is to put more women in power. Because the women you end up putting in power could end up being, well, women like Momokun.